This experience spurred me up to come up with an idea by way of a bill to establish an agency that will be responsible for regulation, management, and coordination of the roles of NGOs and civil society in Nigeria. The bill in focus. The bill is divided into 5 parts with 39 clauses in order to establish an agency to function as follows. The bill to create an agency to oversee the affairs of the NGOs. It performs the following functions: to facilitate and coordinate the work of all national and international NGOs operating in Nigeria, to maintain the register of national and international non-governmental organizations operating in Nigeria with precise sectors, affiliation, and locations of their activities, to advise government on the activities of non-governmental organizations and their roles in development within Nigeria, to conduct a regular review of the register to determine the consistency in their reports submitted by non-governmental and civil organizations, civil society organizations, and the body, to provide policy guidelines to non-governmental and civil society organizations for harmonizing their activities with the National Development Plan for Nigeria. In view of the above and what exists in other climes, having realized the essence of an agency to coordinate the activities of NGOs and civil society organizations in Nigeria, I will humbly urge this Honorable House to note that there are about 1.2 million NGOs operating in the United States, and they are not left without any regulation or coordination. Some examples of legislations around the world that impose mandatory coordination and registration include Ethiopia. In 2009, they have a legislation, 2009 proclamation for the registration and regulation of charities and societies. Zambia, the 2000 Non-Governmental Organization Act. Uganda, Non-Governmental Organization Registration Act. Zimbabwe, Civil Society Act. Sierra Leone, Angola, Burundi, Rwanda, Democratic Republic of Congo, Zambia, Mozambique, Senegal, Kenya, Tanzania, England, and Wales. They have the Charity Act 2006 is the most recent legislation on NGO in the UK. Honorable colleagues, I urge you most respectively, without any prejudice to the NGO and civil society organizations in Nigeria, to support this bill for the future and the good of Nigeria. Honorable colleagues, this is the ethics code of ethics and conduct of the NGOs, which
Honorable Ibrahim, you are distracting our leader,
which was
who has been
published
very
by
attentive
the
listening
World
to Honorable
Association
Sada.
of
You have been
Non-Governmental
distracting him,
Organizations.
please.
This is their code of ethics. Honorable colleagues, if you may recall, excuse me, sir, excuse me. If you may recall what happened in Rwanda, the role of the NGOs, if you want to know what happened and their role and the need for coordination and organizing of them in our laws, you read this book. If you need to know the functions and the responsibility of how the NGOs participated in the global governance, the non-governmental organizations and development, their functions, their roles they played in world peace, world organization, and their impact on society, and the need for them to be regulated, the need for them to be coordinated, the need for them to be managed by national laws. You read this book. Mr. Speaker, if you need... Mr. Speaker, I'm given the compendium and the section of this act. The title of the books, there is State Crime and Civil Activism, there is Non-Governmental Organization and Development, that is strictly for members only who participate in global governance, there is the Rwandan crisis, history of genocide, there is Code of Ethics and Conduct of NGOs, and there is NGOs, civil society, and public sphere. Mr. Speaker, there is the need for Nigeria to include the management, coordination, and in our laws. We don't have that. What we have of NGOs' presence in our laws is for them to go to...
Order, please. Order. Order.
It's for them to go to Corporate Affairs Commission and just register. Nobody knows. The Committee on NGOs can testify. NGOs do not disclose their finances, their budget, their finances are not captured in national budget. Nobody knows what they do. Nobody knows what they do. Those that come from the Northeast can testify the functions, the activities of the NGOs. Some of their activities that are inimical to national unity. That is the functions why we should establish this agency, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sada. I will recognize, as I've said yesterday, even though it is my own, it is not what we have in the standing rules, but because of time, exigency of time, I will allow two people who are in support of this motion to contribute, and then two who are against to also speak their own minds. So for those